stand on it. Well, now when in doubt and you can't figure it out, just stand on it. Well, if your mind's confused, you don't know what you're gonna do, then better stand on it. Well, if you've lost control of the situation at hand, grab a girl.
NASCAR and its Winston Racing Series. We thank you for coming out to enjoy your Friday evening with us and a beautiful, beautiful night that we have activities presented for you. At this point in time, we'd like everybody to please stand, and what we would like to do is recognize, before we play our anthem, a moment of silence for the passing of William H.G. France, the father of stock car racing, who passed away at his home this past Sunday, June 7th, at the age of 82. Affectionately known as Big Bill, the Tall Man, France took stock car racing off the back roads and dirt tracks and turned it into a major league sport that has reached phenomenal heights in these past 45 years. So if we could ask you for a moment of silence and then remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, and we're ready to go racing. NASCAR Winston playing in that automobile, and he's ready to go Gatling's late model racing. Field looks good. Tightening up in turns 3 and 4. It'll be up to Williams and Audi. They look good out of turn 4. Starter Ron Brunt looks at him. He gives him the green. It's unfolded. We are up to speed and racing. The cars come up through the gears into turns 1 and 2, and it's Barry Audi to the outside of Williams, down the back straightaway, and Audi breaks through with the lead. Here comes Rick Miller. Miller dives to the high side of the 6 machine of Snooky Williams. They work side by side in the battle for the bridesmaids spot down the front straight. It's a drag race as they go into turns 1 and 2. Very close together. Williams down low off the racing surface. He and Miller continue struggling side by side. Miller trying to break some daylight, and he's able to do it in the A1 Engineering chassis, precision chassis, center Camaro bodied automobile. Now Rick Miller wastes no time and starting to strike on the low side of Audi's automobile. Barry Audi in the Wiedendorf Electric 75 trying to hold that middle groove. Meanwhile, Miller grooms the low side of that automobile. Rick Miller on the move. The Elwood Richter carpet installer, Henschel & Sons Automotive Warehouse 19 down the front straightaway. Drag race is tucked in behind Audis automobile. Miller again looks to the low side, trying to play the salesman, opening up the door down the back straight. Audi turns up the wick under the hood and holds on to the lead. Now Audi changes groove with Miller. It's Audi up high, sliding a bit. Here comes Miller. It's a drag race down the front straightaway. Side by side, front of the front, one at the one, and Rick Miller, look out, almost near disaster. Miller's car gets crossed up. Audi right there, a little bit of door knocking and rubber tagging, but Miller holds on to the lead. Audi settles into the second place position. Here comes Williams again to challenge your point position car, falling back to third. Now it's trying to challenge the back cover of the Star Oil 75 of Barry Audi. Meanwhile, Rick Boyer continues running in fourth, Bob Sibbel up fifth, and the 23 of Danny White is in sixth place. Back in the field, he can see them all. That's Kelly Shawless in the 71. Down into turns 1 and 2. Miller has it stretched out by 5 car lengths over Barry Audi. Audi content to hold on to the bridesmaid spot. Now Williams has his hands full down the back straightaway. Here comes Bob Cibola. The Martinelli service 63. Shoots to the high side of the 30 Boyer. Cannot make the move. Boyer holds and defends that 4th place position. Working down into turns 1 and 2. The battle is for the 3rd place spot. Time is running out. Williams has his hands full. On the back straight, the Latrobe, Pennsylvania driver in the Mr. T-shirt, number 6 machine, finds 2 automobiles behind him. Cibola in a 63 and the 30 of Boyer. 2 laps remaining. The flying coal miner from Bristol. Rick Boyer anxious to try to make a move on the 6 of Williams. And once he tries to commit there, Cibola looks like he's trying to high side. Here comes Cibola again. The Martinelli service Camaro body machine right there, knocking on the back bumper of the 30 Rick Boyer, the white flag. 1 lap remaining. Down the front straightaway, this battle for 3rd. It continues to be an intense one. Williams holds on to the spot. It's all Rick Miller, followed by Barry Audi in 2nd. This battle for 3rd continues as we have less than a half a lap remaining. Cibola commits to the high side of the 30 of Rick Boyer. Here's the checker for Miller. 2nd will go to Audi. 3rd will go to Williams. And a battle for 4th. It is Boyer holding off Massillon's, Ohio's Bob Cibola for the 4th place position. Cibola rounding out the top 5. Erickson inside on the 3rd row, the American Title Trust Gold Brothers Heating and Air Conditioning 32 from Hubbard, Ohio. And the Buick body car for them, Port City Chassis Machine. The driver from Stoystown, Rick Jock. Field sets up in turn 3, anticipating Ron Brett's green flag. It's up the Wade. Let's see what he does with Henry outside of him on the 1st row. They reach that line in turn 4. Brett looks him over the green. It's unfolded. We're up to speed and racing. Down the front straightaway, the drag race into turns 1 and 2 in Connellsville, Pennsylvania's Bobby Henry takes over the point position. And look at the floodgate on the back of Dave Wade's automobile. We're trying to make it 3 wide. Kennedy back and forth. Quite a shuffling of automobiles. We're still 2 wide in the middle of the pack. Oh, Wade shuffles up high. Here comes the low side. Down the front straightaway, a drag race into 1 and 2. Chuck Kessler joining the field, a late arrival in this heat race, well off the pace, but down the back straight. Chuck Kennedy, a man on the move, looks to the low side. He gets by Erickson. Now he gets by Wade in turns 3 and 4, and Kennedy really looking impressive. Here comes Glenn Gold, Wade off the pace. Dave Wade has problems, selects the automobile. Glenn Gold breaks through for the 3rd place spot, sets his sights on Kennedy's automobile. Here comes Craig into, oh, look at this. Glenn Gold in the orange process special makes a dive bomb move to the low side of Kennedy's automobile. They wrestle with it through turns 4, and it is Gold taking over the bridesmaid position. Glenn Gold will now play a cat and mouse game with the 77 of Bobby Henry. Does he have enough time? Meanwhile, Chuck Kennedy tries to sneak in low on Gold. Gold denies him the opportunity. Tiger Tom Erickson continues running in the 4th place spot with Charlie Cragen closing up on his back bumper running there. It's a 4-car mechanical Caterpillar out at turn 2 for the battle for the bridesmaid spot. Led by Hubbard, Ohio's Glenn Gold, the 1988 NASCAR Winston Racing Series Northeast Regional Champion. He works the middle groove. Meanwhile, Chuck Kennedy continues trying to find some extra horses that goes in to the back bumper of that Buick automobile of Gold. Erickson, with his hands full, continues to hold off Cragen's aluminum body Port City Chassis Machine on the back straight as they run 4th and 5th respectively. Chuck Kennedy begins to fade from the pace Glenn Gold setting. Gold looks like he's closing the gap on Henry, but he'll just run out of time in real estate with only 4 laps remaining. Meanwhile, Kennedy trying to separate himself from the 36 of Erickson. Erickson, conversely, trying to hold off the challengers of Cragen. In the back of the field, Rick Jock beginning to close in on the back bumper. The Valvoline 76 of Dave Wade as they struggle for the scratch position down the back straight. Meanwhile, Bobby Henry has been plagued with nothing, dare I say it, but mechanical problems all season long. Well, it's very impressive. In the 2nd qualifying event with only 2 laps remaining, he's stretched out the lead by some 6 car lengths over Gold. A distant 3rd place position is Morris, Pennsylvania's Chuck Kennedy, and he continues holding on to that spot with aluminum-bodied Howe chassis automobile. White flag for Henry, 1 lap remaining. Glenn Gold desperately beginning to close in on the 77 of Henry, who no doubt is pacing himself with just this last lap remaining. And Bobby Henry will come around in a Hodge transmission machine for a comfortable win. 3rd will go to Chuck Kennedy. 4th will go to Erickson, and 5th to Charlie Cragen. So it's Bill Krause from Somerset and the A&H Video Holiday Inn machine. The 10 is Gary Wilchot, a street stock graduate. The 7, first time out at Motordrome. He was at Jennerstown last weekend. That's Greg Waltenbaugh from Sarver, and the former Ed Faree campaign, WRC late model chassis machine. Faree campaign this car. He rounds out the field, looking for 10 laps. Here we go, the field out of turn 4. Let's see what happens. We get the green and we're up to speed and racing. Working into turns 1 and 2. Consul holds on to the point position in the RCS Racing Engines Consul. Racing center 50. Here comes Robert Eisenberger. Sneaks the nose on him. Cannot make the move. We're too wide in the middle of the pack. Cole having problems. Bradley Cole in a brand new Hall chassis machine having problems. Fading back through the field in the red 68. Meanwhile, your lead continues to be on Consul at 26. A rapid Robert Eisenberger trying to hang on to it in second. The VJ's Express Pennzoil machine of Jeff Dunlop holding on to third begins the reel in the back bumper of the Garless Insurance. Arsenberger Trucking 26 of Millland, Pennsylvania's rapid Robert Arsenberger. The field works into turns 1 and 2. 3 cars hooked up in a duel in this Pepsi Pro Stock heat race down the back straightaway. They're coming up on Greg Waltenbaugh. His machine was damaged in practice and he pulls it into the pits out of this event. Bradley Cole with his brand new automobile having problems coming up to the speed. And the JW Industries 68 has settled back to 5th, challenged the low side of the Pristos 49 and Denny Wingert. They struggle for 4th place position. Cole trying to make the move in turns 3 and 4. And Brad Cole wrestling in the sophomore pilot in this division pulls up with a 4th place position. We continue with this battle up front. And here it is shaping up for the bridesmaid spot. Jeff Demmer wrestles to the low side of Robert Eisenberger. Demmer trying to steal away the low side from Eisenberger. He accomplishes a pass out of turn 4. Demmer will set his sight on Bob Consul's automobile down the back straight. Consul with that 1992 Olds Cutlass S bodied Port City chassis machine holds on to the point position. Jeff Dunbar continues to try to reel in Consul. Time is running out. Only 4 laps remaining. Will Dunbar have the opportunity to make the move? Meanwhile, Bradley Cole separated himself in 4th place. Here comes Gary Wilchot, the Lucas machine, Caddyshack number 10. He's diving to the low side of the Pristos 49 and Denny Wingert. And that's the struggle for the 5th place position. Very close together those cars get. And Wilchot takes over the 5th place spot. And he brings the 25 machine of Somerset, Pennsylvania's Bill Krause right with him. Krause now moves into the 6th place spot. Meanwhile, this battle for the lead is shaping up, but time is running out. Only 2 laps remaining. Bob Spot, Consul the 3rd on the back straight by some 4 car lengths over Jeff Dunbar. Dunbar trying everything he can to throw that fishing wire onto the back bumper and reel in Consul's automobile, but with the white flag unwaving this time around. Dunbar may have found himself running out of time in real estate. He dives into turns 1 and 2, trying to close up. Down the back straight, Consul has the RPMs turned up, and an Oldsmobile number 50 machine. Very strong, exiting out of turn 4. The checker will go to Bob Spratt. Consul the 3rd, a distant 2nd. To Jeff Dunbar. 3rd place goes the rapid Robert Arsenberger. Bradley Cole making it up to 4th. Then will go to Bill Krause as he gets by Wilchot late in the event. And the 13th, second time out for him in a 92 season with the Duster after that bad crash a few weeks back. Field tightens up. We're going for 10 circuits. Stoney's Light Street Stocks. And starter run Brett gives him the green. We're up to speed and racing. Let's see what happens down the front straight. Into turns 1 and 2, these 3,400-pound production-based chassis machines coming up to speed, and we've got a horse race down the back straightaway. John Komarinsky, the Greensburg, Pennsylvania pilot, looks on the side of Barry Gary. 4 corners, you can throw a blanket over them, race fans. Out of turn 4, Komarinsky moves to the low side of Barry Gary. Oh, very close on the front straight. Barry's hanging on to it on the outside, but Komarinsky muscles it away down to the low line, and a Monte Carlo takes off for the point position. The Rocketer Drilling Rolling Rock 33 machine has the lead. Here comes Mike Heminger and a black specialty North Star Equipment 72. He hangs on to second, moves to the low side, and now begins to challenge all of a sudden on Komarinsky's automobile. Mike Heminger wasting no time down under the yellow line. Continues working that groove and takes over the point position. Here comes Tony Baum. Baum in the Dodge-powered machine down to the low side of Gary's automobile in a struggle for the third spot. Presenting himself in the lower groove is Komarinsky in front of Tony Baum trying to guard his bridesmaid spot. Baum and Eastern Fasteners machine still hunting the back bumper of the 33 of Komarinsky. They work out of turn 2. Komarinsky goes up high. Here comes Tony Baum. The black flag to Nick Duratz as he has to go into the pits. Meanwhile, Tony Baum has his own wrestling match going on a turn 4 with Komarinsky's 33. Into 1 and 2. Baum works the low side. Komarinsky up in that high groove, and Tony Baum hooked up to the low line, makes his move down the back straight. Finds himself breaking some daylight between himself and Komarinsky for the second place spot. Meanwhile, Barry Gary looking very impressive in a TJ's Restaurant 82. Ford Elite machine still closes in on the back bumper of the Salty Dog Grand Prix 33 of Komarinsky. Now Gary goes up high out of turn 2, cannot make the move. Komarinsky hanging in that third place spot. All by himself, Mike Heminger continues with the lead by about 1/8 of a lap over this 3-car battle for the bridesmaid spot. Working into turns 1 and 2. Komarinsky tries the low side on Tony Baum, cannot make the move. Barry Gary down the back straightaway. Still holding on to 4th place spot, looking to make some racing room to the outside groove on Komarinsky's automobile. Comes very close to the outside retaining wall, hangs that line. And he won auto records 82 and continues on that 4th place position. Meanwhile, 3rd place runner Komarinsky getting into the dirt in turn 1, imitating a lawnmower, but continues in that spot, not able to challenge Baum's automobile. Off the pace is Hoover and that Oldsmobile, the 13, the primer automobile down the front straight with only 2 laps remaining for Mike Heminger. Mike Heminger's really stretched out this lead by 1/4 of a lap. Now Tony Baum, in an impressive bridesmaid spot, continues to stretch it out over John Komarinsky. Komarinsky still holding off the efforts of Gary as the white flags unfolded. 1 lap remaining in this event. Barry Gary still out of turn 4, tries to groom the high side in the 82. Cannot make the move on Komarinsky as they struggle for the 3rd spot. Coming up on Caster's 36 machine, it will be the 72 for the checkered. It will go to Mike Heminger. A distant second will go to Tony Baum in the 22. Here comes the battle for 3rd. Now Barry Gary tries the low side on Komarinsky, but John's up for the task. Holds on to 3rd. Gary 4th, and a distant 5th to Paul Bennick in the 41. Race fans, I want to remind everyone that we have the die putter outside of him. Danny Barron in the 05. The Wildman, Alan Angelique on the Tasco 55. Newcomer last weekend in this division is the 32 of Dave Miller out of New Eagle, Pennsylvania. Inside 3rd row, it's Jason in the Parts Plus machine. Here we go, lights are out. We get ready for the green. It's unfolded. We are up to speed and racing. And look at this, Danny Barron making the shifts right in that automobile. Takes over the point position. Here comes the Tasco Outdoor Specialties 55 of Angelique on the second. Jack Satoski wastes no time. Oh, they had a sandwich shot. Oh, no. Woo, look at Satoski dive to the low side on Angelique. It's still a fight for the lead. Oh, no. We're still not done. Oh, what a heartbreaking situation. Satoski, immediate move on Danny Barron's automobile. Their car, no relation to Dave Miller, crew chief for Rick Miller's crew. Field tightens up in turns 3 and 4. The Caddyshack. Lucas machine, number 10 of Schneider. Let's see what he does with it. Miller beside him. Green comes out. We're up to speed and racing, and here comes Brian Audi, shot out of a cannon. A sandwich job momentarily. We go into turns 1 and 2, and Brian Audi says it's time to pull the plug on his bathtub and drain the water as he takes off down the back straightaway. Oh my goodness, we're still opening refrigerator in the sandwich shop down the back straight, and the wild man, Alan Angelico Jr., has brought out the buggy whip and begins to whip the horses under the hood of the Tasco 55 and begins to close in on Brian Audi's automobile. Jason Mignon into Mr. Stubbs Restaurant. Budweiser, Westmoreland Distributor 66 begins to close on the back bumper. The 55 of Angelico in the struggle for the bridesmaid spot. They work into turns 1 and 2. Mignon with that familiar dirt track style of his on the pavement. That Buick-bodied racer, sophomore pilot in this division, looking for racing room, begins to challenge the 55 Angelico. Mignon way up high. Look at him like he's rim riding a cushion on a dirt track. Almost loses a handle, brings the car back online. Mignon still trying to work that outside groove on Ellen Angelico. Oh! Well, dare we say it, a full moon? Look, a second tire in a row. This one decides to beat Audi to the... Keep going. Maybe it'll work its way back into the pits. It's flat, no doubt. And the double farm sign takes a hit from the tire. Field tightens up. Single file restart. It's up to the wild man, Alan Angelico. Let's see what he does. Jason Mignon right on his back bumper. The green has unfolded. We're up to speed and racing. 3 laps in, 7 remaining. Into 1 and 2. Angelico holds the point position by 2.5 car lengths over Mignon. Mignon up high on his racing surface, trying to set up for a challenge for the lead. They work into turns 3 and 4. Mignon in a 4-wheel power drift through turn 4, trying to close in on Angelico. He's right up to the back bumper. Working into turns 1 and 2. Mignon still trying to work the outside of this racing surface. He turns up the wick down the bank straightaway, and he begins to set up for a challenge on Angelico. Angelico finds a handle in turn 3, separates by a car length and a half. Here comes Mignon once again. Working into turns 1 and 2. Jason Mignon still with that familiar high side style, trying to make a move on Angelico. On the back straightaway. Mignon always right up. He can reach out and autograph the back bumper of Angelico's automobile. He's running that close. Backs off momentarily, perhaps setting up for another challenge. Meanwhile, in the battle for third, Bill Schneider gets by Miller's automobile and takes over the third place spot. Jason Mignon down the back straightaway, tries the high side again, but Angelico right there doesn't give him the racing room. Mignon trying to play the salesman, and Angelico keeps closing the door on him. Now, Mignon tries a low line. Angelico closes the door ever so slightly. Mignon stays right on that back bumper. Down the back straightaway. Mignon crossed up a bit, but he's able to apply the pressure. He commits to the low side. Angelico gently closes the door in turn 3. Denies Mignon the opportunity. Out of 4. Angelico up high. Mignon tries the low side. 2 laps remaining, race fans. We go into turns 1 and 2. We're wheel to wheel, hub to hub, window net to window net. Out of turn 2. And Mignon has the handle. Breaks some daylight between himself and Angelico and takes over the point position. White flag, 1 lap remaining. Mignon continues holding on to the point position. Angelico trying to close in on him, screeching those Goodyear racing slicks in a desperate effort. Less than a half a lap remaining. Jason Mignon, who has had a heartbreaking situation at Jennerstown earlier this year, looking good now on a turn 4, drifts up high. Here comes Angelico, but Mignon holds on for the checker. Angelico finishes a close second, a very distant third. We'll go to Bill Schneider. 4th place runner Dave Miller retiring to the pits. First tire behind the wheel of an asphalt car about a month ago, and he looks very impressive. Mark Griffith as well, looking strong in his rookie season as 71. Larry Lee Heminger in his 70. Field comes up. We got the green flag and we're racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Chris Kokenar takes off with the lead. Race fans. Stump hangs on to second. Here comes Harry Flowers. He works to the low side in a battle for a third. Larry Lee Heminger in a 76 moving up through the field. Flowers works into the 3rd place position. The 76 of the double L still trying the low side to battle for 4th. Chris Kokenar looks like he may have a hood pin popped on the right front of that automobile. Out of turn 4, Chris Kokenar continues for the point position. Tim Stump hangs on to second. And look at this battle for third. Larry Lee Hemminger works to the left side of Harry Flowers. They dive into turns 1 and 2. And the double L makes the move on a smoking 3. Harry Flowers into third. The flying sign pen into high-tech hobbies number 1. Dave Brunel breaks through. The Greensburg, Pennsylvania pilot into 4th. These 3,400-pound automobiles running on street treaded tires as opposed to racing slicks. They really slide the automobiles around the racing surface. Chris Kokenar continues hanging on to lead. Oh, he fades out of turn 2, but works that outer groove. Tim Stump works in second place position. The double L from Somerset. Hemminger begins to close in. He commits to the outside on Stump. The 65 Chevelle in jeopardy of losing the bright space spot out of turn 4, but he hangs on to it. Now the space opens up to the low side. And the high-tech hobbies number 1 at Dave Brunel. And the flying sign painter gets through for third. Brunel and Hemminger playing flip-flop in position battles. Kokenar almost buys the outside retaining wall on the back straight, continues leading this event. Now Brunel becomes the salesman. He's trying to get by Stump, and while he's doing that, Hemminger goes to the outside, cannot make the move. Into turns 1 and 2. Larry Lee Hemminger decides the highway is the fast way around. Cannot make the move on Brunel. And those 3 automobiles, 65 is Stump included, begin to close up on Chris Kokenar. Kokenar's rear view mirror filling up with yellow, white, and orange automobiles. Out of turn 4. This time around, 2 laps remaining. We have 4 cars hooked up in a battle for the lead. Kokenar hangs on to it. In turns 1 and 2. Stump tries to make a little side. Hemminger right there. Whistle to the low side, down the back straight away. We've got a horse race for the lead. Diving into turn 3, 2 cars strong, 2 blanket over. Kokenar says, I want to hang on to it. The white flag, 1 more lap remaining. Race fans, what's going to happen? Down a flat straightaway. Kokenar with the lead. Here comes Brunel to the outside. He goes around Stump's automobile. Stump dirt tracks the car. Brunel momentarily with an 8th of a fender ahead of the 65 of Stump. Larry Lee Hemminger trying to make it 3 wide, cannot do it. Kokenar has automobiles all over his back bumper. This time, a quarter lap remaining. The checker comes out. It's a drag race, and it's going to be Kokenar. How about that one, race fans? Chris Kokenar, after a career first win at Jennerstown, says, yeah, give me another checker. And he takes one in this heat race over the hard charges of Friend Street. Lift truck, Presnell's Heating, number 17, 75 Monte Carlo, in his first year of racing ever. Bickerstaff outside of him saw his father race for so many years, and now behind the wheel of Pure Stock, the Dicko Electric 24. We get the green. We're up to speed and racing. Down the front straightaway. Let's see what happens as we go into turns 1 and 2. Judy Shaw is taking over third. Up high goes Bickerstaff into the loose marbles, and here comes the racing mom down the back straightaway. Come on, ladies, let's hear it from you. Judy Shaw is hanging it out. Oh, she runs into problems. Here comes Butch Durkis to the outside. He moves in to the 3rd place position. Dirt tracks the car, almost overcorrects, and continues racing. Meanwhile, Jimmy Bickerstaff, the Mineral Ridge Ohio driver, looks to the low side of Presnell's automobile. Presnell way up high into the loose marbles, and Bickerstaff makes it through for the point position. Butch Durkis hanging on the 3rd. Now he decides to take the low side. And Durkis works under Presnell's automobile. Here comes Sean the Bullet Beam all the way up from the back of the pack, and the Baron Trucking 74 Ford Torino. Beam continues closing up on this field. Down the back straightaway. And now James Friedline in a 75, running in 5th, looking to the low side of Presnell's automobile, and a challenge there as well as they battle for the 4th spot. Exiting out of turn 4, it's Jimmy Bickerstaff in a point position. Way up high is Judy Shaw out of 4 in the back of the field. That might be Mitzi behind the wheel tonight rather than Judy. But look at this battle for the lead. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, look at this! Talk about piggybacking down the back. I thought, oh my, the yellow comes on. You know, wow. Give her time though. It's in the blood in that family. Here we go. Green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. The Bullet begins to pull away. Here comes Friedline to the low side of Presnell's 17 machine as they work down the front straight into turns 1 and 2. Watch Bickerstaff and the 87 of Durkis from the back of the field. Meanwhile, we concentrate on this battle for second in turn 3. 3 laps down of the 8 we're going for the Pure Stocks. Oh, Presnell way hard into that turn. He's going to really have to scrape off some treads trying to hold on to it. He does. Coming up through the field, Streamline in the North Star, Coleman 75, and Personnel in the 17. Continue that battle. Personnel way up high again. Hang on to it, Conrad. He does, but he loses 2 positions. Streamline makes it through, and George Nicola in the 32 as well. Nicola glued up to the back bumper, and erodes in 32 to the 75 of Friedline as they work out of turn 4. Down the front straightaway, the struggle is for the second place spot. Into 1 and 2. Nicola looking for racing room. Right up to the back bumper. Friedline's automobile. Press nail into the marbles. Oh, he does a gentle autograph to the outside retaining wall in turn 2. Brings out. Here we go. Lights out. We're back to green and racing. And it's Sean the Bullet Beam with the lead as they go into turns 1 and 2. George Nicola begins to apply the pressure to the back bumper of Friedline 75 down the back straightaway. It's a battle for the bridesmaid spot. They work into turns 3 and 4. Nicola still looking for racing room. Starter Ron Brought looks him over this time around. 2 laps to go. Nicola right there running in 3rd place in the Road 10 32. Trying to work around the 75 of Friedline. He goes up high, gets into loose marbles. Here comes Jimmy Bickerstaff, the Mineral Ridge Ohio pilot in the Dickey Electric 24. Closes right up to the back bumper of Nicola's automobile. Nicola continues running in 3rd. Bickerstaff right there. The white flag, 1 lap remaining. Oh, Butch Durkis almost losing the automobile. We continue green flag racing. On the back straight, it's all Sean the Bullet Beam with the lead. The battle is for the bridesmaid spot. George Nicola continues to try to apply the pressure to Friedline's automobile. Exiting out of turn 4, the checker will be unfolded to the Bullet, Sean Beam. Here comes the battle for 2nd. It's Friedline hanging on to it over Nicola. 4th goes to Jimmy Bickerstaff. Rounding out the top 5 is Butch Durkis in the Durkis Automotive 87 machine. 71, Kelly Shaw from Somerset doing duties in the giant. Oh, okay, 1 more lap to go here. And the Gatlin's late model machines outside of him, former street stock pilot Rick Chalk in the JBC car Audi 74. And Chuck Kessler jumped out late for his qualifying heat race in the Castle Racing Center's Midway Parts and Service. Port City chassis aluminum body machine brings up the rear. The Olds Cutlass Supreme pace car will quicken its way into the infield. It's up to Kennedy and Henry on the point. Looking to be side by side at the perpendicular yellow line in turn 4. The field getting ready to explode into action. Color sight and sound. We're green and racing. The field drag racing through wide in the middle of the pack down into turns 1 and 2. And it's Bobby Henry taking over the lead in the Brooks Oldsmobile 77 aluminum body machine. Look at this 3 wide and Snooky Williams. Heavy traffic through the middle of the pack. Rick Miller making an early racing move. And here comes a charging 1 Charlie Craig down the front straightaway. Into turns 1 and 2. Chuck Kennedy holds on to the 2nd place spot. Cragen moves into 3rd. Here comes Rick Boyer. Boyer dives to the low side in the 75 of Audi and a battle for the 4th place position. Williams having problems into 6th, falls back through the field. It continues to be Henry on this front straightaway. Audi right there battling side by side with 36 of Tom Erickson for that 5th place struggle. Rick Miller trying to do the same. Oh, we have a spin in turns 1 and 2. Look out. A beautiful job. After Shaw is spinning in the 71 and Kessler car, Winston Racing Series Northeast Region points. Let's see what happens. Field tightens up. It's up to Henry. He presses the go button. We come up the speed, and he catches a 24 of Kennedy sleeping. We're green and racing. Cragen now tries to make the bid to the low side in turns 1 and 2, and the charging 1 breaks through for the bridesmaid spot. Here comes Williams out of the pits. He stays on the same lap. Now look down into turn 3. Rick Boyer and the KFC Mott's Fruit Juice 30 trying to make a move on the 24 of Kennedy. In the battle for 3rd. In a 1 and 2, Bobby Henry continues holding on that point position, but Charlie Cragen begins to reel him in down the back straightaway. Tiger, Tom Erickson, the 36, dives to the low side of Ariani. That struggle is for the 5th place position. Out of turn 4, here comes Brando. Cole now works the low side with Bobby. They struggle down the front straightaway. And the double G from Hubbard, Ohio, wrestles to the low side of Stoystown, Pennsylvania's Audi. He's bringing Rick Miller right with him. Those 3 automobiles, Erickson, Golden, Miller, hooked up in a freight train battle to the top of the field. There's the struggle down the front straightaway. In the battle for the lead as we work into turns 1 and 2. Yeah, Nicholson and Son Lumber, 77 and Henry right there. Charging, Charlie Cragen dives to the low side. He's playing his salesman. Henry denies him the opportunity in turn 3, race fans. Glenn Gold breaks through for 5th. To the low side of the 36 of Erickson. Rick Miller trying to do the same down the front straightaway. Now, as Cragen cannot make the move. Charlie Cragen knocking on the low side of this racing surface that Bobby Henry continues to hold on to. Now, Cragen looks to go to the high side on Henry. Down the back straightaway, Cragen setting up. They drag race into turn 3, and it continues to be Bobby Henry. The Henry Motor Sales Hodge transmission, aluminum body, Port City chassis, 77 machine, holds on to the lead. Meanwhile, Glenn Gould is a man on the move. The Buick Regal body, Port City chassis, racing engine power machine has just taken over the 4th place spot and sets his sights on Chuck Kennedy. Bobby Henry, a man with a mission this evening, continues on the point position. And Cragen tries to close up on his back bumper. They work through turns 1 and 2. Bobby Henry holding on to the lead. Here comes Cragen. He begins to look to the low side. Once again, cannot make the move. Out of turn 4, down the front straight. It's a drag race for the lead. Charging Charlie Cragen dives for the low side. Bobby Henry hoping he'll have the RPMs off the turn. It's a drag race into turn 3. Cragen sticks the nose on it, commits to the outside, and takes over the lead. Charging Charlie Cragen takes it over. Henry tries to hang on. Here comes Glenn Gould. Gould down the front straightaway in a battle for the 3rd place. We have a spin. We have a spin. Look out. Oh, woo. What a beautiful job those guys did of avoiding any miscues. My goodness. Rick Jock for the 2nd time this evening says remove that full moon. I've got a car spun out, little voodoo dolls in there. Good luck for me. It's up to Henry again once he presses the go button. Now Glenn Gould with renewed interest here because he's close up on the leaders. Green's out, we're up to speed at racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Bobby Henry sets up and begins to pull away from Cragen. Williams comes out of the pits again. Also out there is Kessler. Rick Boyer able to rejoin the field in this lead battle. Out of turn 4, Charlie Cragen looks to the right side on Henry's automobile once again. It's a drag race. They go into turns 1 and 2. And Cragen comes to the low line and breaks through for the lead once again. Charlie Cragen on lap 11 taking over the lead. Watch Rick Miller in the 19 and the 63 of Bob Sibilla. They've come up to join this battle now. Glenn Gould moves to the low side of Chuck Kennedy. And the double G breaks in the turn. The window's open on Kennedy. It's a floodgate. Here comes Miller through for the 4th place position. Bob Sibilla trying to do the same, but Kennedy denies him the opportunity in turn 3. Charlie Cragen holds on to a car length and a half lead over Bobby Henry. Charging Charlie Cragen, not able to run away with it. Bobby Henry sticking right with him. Meanwhile, look at Rick Miller, race fans. He's glued to the back bumper of Glenn Gould's 32 automobile. They work for that 3rd place battle in turns 3 and 4 on lap 13. Here comes Rick Miller. He tries to low side on Glenn Gould. He'll make the move as we go into turns 1 and 2. And now Miller wallows the low side move, and Gould denies him the opportunity down the back straight. Rick Miller trying to groom the low side of this racing surface, and the Hubbard Ohio pilot, Glenn Gould, continues denying him the opportunity as they continue that battle for the 3rd place spot in this event. It's charging Charlie Cragen with the lead down the back straight by 3 car lengths over Bobby Henry. Henry would love nothing more than an opportunity to challenge Cragen later in this Winston 35-lap feature event. We got a spin in 3 and 4. Kelly Shawless loops the automobile. Just happened to have my eyes over there watching Rick Boyer climb through the field. And Boyer to go green flag racing. It's up to Cragen in the Scaling Clinic 42. Here we go. Once he presses on the go button, we're back to green and racing. Let's see what happens. Out of turn 4. Green's out of racing. Here comes Miller and Gould. Rick Miller and Glenn Gould haunting the back bumper of Bobby Henry. Now look at Rick Miller on the low side of this racing surface. In that battle for 3rd place position down the back straightaway. Miller trying to make the move to the low side on Glenn Gould. Gould not able to haunt the back bumper. Henry just quite yet. Henry meanwhile is desperately trying to hang on to the back bumper of the 42 of Cragen as they go into turns 1 and 2. Charging Charlie Cragen separates it by a car length and a half over the Hodge transmission 77 of Constable, Pennsylvania as Bobby Henry as they work into turns 3 and 4. Meanwhile, Rick Miller still looking to the low side on Glenn Gould's automobile. Up high out of turn 4 as Dave White continues hanging on to it as he works the top 10 position. Rick Miller still trying to groom that low side on Glenn Gould, cannot make the move. Chuck Kennedy continues in a top 5 position. He is being haunted by the Martinelli Service 63 of Bob Sibilla, the Ohio pilot, as they work out of turn 4. Rick Miller with the best battle on the track, going with the American Title Trust 32 of Glenn Gould. Those 2 drivers, we talked to them before this race, and they're out there in a wrestling match for the third place spot. Miller tries the low side again, but he doesn't have the car position to make a challenge. Charlie Craig continues holding on to the lead by 3.5 car lengths over Bobby Henry. Rick Miller still trying to work that low line on Galt down the back straightaway. 19 laps in the record book out of the 35 we're going in this Winston-sponsored event. Comes Rick Miller again with the charge for third. Miller trying to put that A1 engineering chassis, Camaro bodied automobile to the low side of the Port City chassis Buick machine of Galt. Galt in the middle groove. Here comes Miller down to the low side. It's all charging Charlie Cragen right now by 5 car lengths over Bobby Henry as we work lap 21. 14 laps remaining, and Rick Miller still hunting the back bumper of Galt. Likewise, Bob Cibula trying to do the same to the 24 Kennedy and a battle for the 5th place position. Into 1 and 2, Cragen has the car working just great on the low side. Stretches it out by some 5.5 car lengths over the 77 of Henry. Meanwhile, Rick Miller begins to muster up efforts once again. Closes in on the back bumper of Galt. Galt continues in that strong third place position, but Rick Miller every once in a while tries to sneak that automobile under his machine on lap 23. They work into turns 3 and 4. That's the best battle on the track. Also the battle for the 5th place spot between Kennedy and Cibula. Cibula, who says his car gets better the longer the race goes, begins to really show an effort to the back up of the 24 Kennedy. Likewise, Miller trying to say, here comes Cibula! Oh, he dirt tracks the automobile! They get together down the back straightaway, and Cibula's attempt at becoming a lawnmower proves unsuccessful as he continues in the 6th place position. Bob Cibula with tire mark. You can see the donut on the 63, how close they run. And the Gatling's late models down the back straightaway. Cibula says the longer I run, the stronger this car gets. And he's making serious bids for a 5th place position. Out of turn 4, he tries a low line. Cannot make the move on Kennedy. Turns 1 and 2. Bob Cibula hanging to the back bumper. Chuck Kennedy, the back bumper of that automobile. Meanwhile, Rick Miller trying to do the same on Galt for third. Bobby Henry, meanwhile, begins to close in on Cragen. Bobby Henry, late in this race, is closing in on Cragen. Charlie Cragen still with the commanding lead. Look at Miller in a battle for third. Down the back straightaway. Rick Miller continues grooming that low side left quarter panel area of the Orange Blossom Special of Glenn Gulch, but he cannot make that move. On lap 28, time is running out, just 7 remaining in this Winston 35 lap feature event. For the Gatlings late model machines, Rick Miller still looking for a racer room. He's been playing the salesman for the last 20 laps on Galt's automobile. He tries the low side out of turn 4. Galt holding his own right there down the front straightaway. Denies him the opportunity. Also, this battle for 5th, the same thing going on. Chuck Kennedy holds off Bob Cibula. Kennedy now right there in the middle racer. Cibula tries the low line. Kennedy right there holding him off. Charging Charlie Cragen, 5 laps remaining this time around. 5 laps needs shown to Glenn Gould, and he knows that Rick Miller's right on his back bumper, and Bob Cibula, the man is really trying to pull off a move for a top 10 finish, closes in on the back bumper and Kennedy. Down the back straightaway in this battle for 5th, Cibula right there, not able to make the move. Rick, 2 battles going on for 3rd and 5th. Miller hunts the back bumper of Gould, and Cibula does likewise to Kennedy's automobile. Oh my goodness, and turn 2 almost crossed up for Gould and Miller, and then it's just battle. Now Cibula tries the high side, and Kennedy, oh, they get together. Kennedy's car momentarily loose, but a beautiful job of both automobiles. Look at this, door knocking out of 4th. Cibula playing the salesman gets through for the 5th place spot as they go into turns 1 and 2. Bob Cibula knocking on the door and makes a pick of it. Look at Miller! Miller to the low side of Gould. Those 2 automobiles very close together. 2 laps remaining. Cibula through for 5th, but the battle is for 3rd. It's all Charlie Cragen, followed by the 77 of Henry. Meanwhile, Rick Miller's desperately trying to make the move on the Orange Blossom Special of Glenn Gould. This time, the white flag showing for charging Charlie Cragen. Here's this battle for 3rd. Gould hugging the low side out of turn 4. Rick Miller directly behind his back bumper. They go into turns 1 and 2. Miller sets up for the high side. Glenn Gould grabs the low side. Miller now dives to the low line. It's going to be all the 42 of Cragen. Cragen will come around. He'll pick up the checker. Second will go to Bobby Henry. Here's the battle for 3rd. Out of turn 4. And Glenn Gould will hang on to it over Rick Miller. On distant 5th is Bob Cibula. charging one from Hopewell, Pennsylvania, and the Casa Fire Equipment Scanlon Clinic, Biter Brothers Racing, Cooney Cole, Twin County Chevrolet Dealers, machine, charging Charlie Craig, and he'll be exiting out of the automobile. When he does, we'll give him a round of applause as he continues his charge in the Winston Racing Series Northeast Regional Points Battle, conferring with Biter Brothers. He can hear now. Nice round of applause for the charge. Charlie Craig from Hopewell, Pennsylvania. Charlie will be receiving a beautiful Winston commemorative plaque, and also Heather Liggett from Eaton Park Restaurants will present the Eaton Park Trophy to Cragen in Victory Lane. And how about this one? What a birthday present for Doc Scanlon, 60 years of age, car owner for Cragen's crew. And Charlie puts it into Victory Lane and says, happy birthday, Doc. It's a lot of fun watching these cars down in the stands. As I'd mentioned, the Eaton Park Trophy from Heather Liggett being presented to Charlie Cragen in Victory Lane, along with the Winston Racing Series commemorative plaque in this Winston 35-lap feature for the charging one from Hopewell, Pennsylvania, Charlie Cragen in a Twin County Chevrolet Dealers machine. Where's Don? There he is. Come here. First of all, happy birthday. What a birthday present.
Boy, that's the cherry on the old whipped cream, I'll tell you. That driver there is the cherry on the whipped cream, too.
I'll tell you what, do you think he might be able to do it and make a sweep for you this weekend?
Well, you know we're going to be trying, Mike.
All right, congratulations, outstanding job, and again, happy birthday.
How about an extra hand for our pit crew that really worked hard this week. We had a lot of work to do, and they worked real late, and hats off to them.
All right, the Biter Brothers, Curry and car, and a salute to them and their efforts all week of getting this machine dialed in. Dream racing engine under the hood of this Port City chassis machine. A few more still photographs preserving this moment for the Biter Brothers crew and driver Charlie Cragen, and then we'll have Charlie's impressions of this event. Well, coming up in a strong second place position, Bobby Henry. How about that? The cars stayed together for him tonight, and you know he's close to getting a win. A nice round of applause for Bobby. Coming up in second place spot, his car being scaled out. Glenn Gold moving all the way up to third. Rick Miller haunting his back bumper with a strong fourth place finish, and Bob Sybil is squeaking by Kennedy's automobile to round out the top five. For just a second, Charlie. Congratulations, another run right into Victory Lane. Hard-fought battle there earlier with Bobby Henry. You know, this seemed deja vu. There was another time here when you made a pass and a spin, negated the whole situation. You had to try it over, but you didn't waste any time this second time on a restart.
Oh yeah, it was working pretty good. So I have a lot of thanks to Doc Scanlon and the sponsors, especially the crew. They worked hard this week. We was having some problems, and they seemed like they ironed it out. Had a real good car for me tonight.
Was the car as strong at the end of the race as it was at the beginning for you?
No, not quite. I was getting a little bit loose, but not too bad.
No doubt. You were able to keep a commanding lead. Again, congratulations. Outstanding job.
Okay, thank you very much.
A nice round of applause for Charging Charlie Cragen from Hopewell, your feature winner in this Winston 35-lap event. And we'll see you back up top as the Pepsi Pro Stars get ready for their Winston 30. Jeff Dunbar. Another Browse to 50 is Boston 49. Craig Waltonball able to get the 7 back in the pace. And the 11 of Greg Bascom McKee Sport and the 60 of Will Albright as we get ready. Out of turn 4, 35 circuits. Oh, watch it closely. Green comes out and we're up to speed and racing. Into 1 and 2. Rapid Robert Arsenberger trying to wrestle away the lead on the outside, side by side with Wiltrop. Into turn 3. Oh my goodness, hold on to your seats and grab your neighbor. We have a horse race exiting out of turn 4. On the front straight, we continue fender to fender, right up to one and rapid Robert Arsenberger in Nicholas Insurance 26 pulls over the outside and takes the lead. Here comes Bradley Cole and Jeff Dunbar. They continue wheeling side by side in this event. Working on lap 2 across the flag stand. It's Arsenberger followed by Wilcox. Tied for third is Bradley Cole and the 07 of Jeff Dunbar. Bob Castle sneaking in there. Look at this. Oh, Wiltrop finds everybody getting whizzing by as he opens up the window and lets a hurricane of automobiles through. We find Bradley Cole up to the second place position. Jeff Dunbar now strikes for the low side of the 50 of Costle's automobile. Down the back straightaway, and Dunbar looking for racing room. Bob Costle ahead of him closes in on the 68 of Bradley Cole, and everybody trying to close up to the back bumper of the Rapid one. Bob Arsenberger. Arsenberger continues his lead. Cole is a distant second with this brand new Hal chassis automobile. The 50 of Boss Front, Costle the third, hangs on to third. Dunbar looking for any mistake in front of him to take advantage of it. Hillcrest continues in the top 5 position. Through turns 1 and 2, Bob Arsenberger up for the task, continues holding on to it. Look at this 3-car battle for a second. And it is a dogfight in turn 3 as Dunbar tries the high side on Costle's automobile, cannot make the move. Oh, everybody's caught up to the lead automobile. This looks interesting. Bob Costle begins to turn up the wick on the Costle Racing Center's RCS Racing engines. Number 50 Oldsmobile motor machine and pulls into the second place position. Here comes Dunbar to do the same to Cole, and he muscles his way around and finds himself running in the third spot. Costle now attacks Arsenberger down the back straightaway. Door knocking in this battle for the lead down the front straight, and Bob Costle with her all over the back bumper of that Ford Thunderbird 26 of Rapid Robert Arsenberger. It's a drag race down the back straightaway and about a foot of top spot. Here comes Costle. He works the low side of Arsenberger, and Costle breaks through the lead. And Jeff Dunbar says, I'm going to sneak through as well, and he moves into the second place position. On the back straight, Bob Costle is hooked up with RCS Racing Engines, Race Car Services of America, and that power plant under the hood has shown him to be a dominant force now as he continues leading this event with Jeff Dunbar in hopes of closing in on him. Arsenberger in third place position has his hands full. Arsenberger gets squarely, and Bill Cross right there to take any advantage of a miscue. Bradley Cole with his new Hal chassis machine having problems setting it up tonight has faded back through the field, now begins to close in on the 25 of Cross. Meanwhile, Jeff Dunbar ever threatening to close in on Costle's automobile. The VJ's Express Bruning Brothers 07 closing right up to the back bumper of Costle's automobile. Costle holds it by 6 car lengths over Jeff Dunbar. Look at this battle for third as they go to the high side of the lapped automobile of Waltonborough on turn 3 and 4. In 1 and 2, Bob Costle continues holding off the challenges of Dunbar. Let's give you a time on that interval between first and second. Costle holds Dunbar by 0.97 seconds, just under a second. And now Dunbar begins to reel in Costle. You can visually see it just when I started to put the clock on this. You can now see the visual advantage of Costle fading away as Dunbar begins to close up on him. Jeff Dunbar begins to reel in Bob Costle, who, we got to spin down the back straight. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Green comes out, and Bob Arsenberger tried to play weed whacker to the low side, couldn't make the move, and almost pays for it as Krause continues to close up in his back bumper. But Rapid Robert hangs on to the automobile and holds on to third place. Bradley Cole with his share of problems out on the racing service. On the front straight, Bob Costle with that cool-down period holds the remaining lead over Dunmar's automobile. Let's see if Dunmar can close the gap on him. Jeff Dunmar still trying to reel in Consul's automobile. And we're going to turns 1 and 2 as we work on lap 18. Dunmar only 4 car lengths behind Consul, 18 laps down in this 35-lap main. The Winston presentation of this feature event for the Pepsi Pro Stocks. And Dunmar begins to close in on Spratt Consul down the back straight. We may have a horse race for the lead here shortly. Jeff Dunmar, the Somerset, Pennsylvania welder, begins to throw out the fishing wire. Hooks the back bumper of the Oldsmobile Consul, and he begins to reel him in out of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Jeff Dunmar looking to make a thread to the back bumper of this automobile. They work out of turn 4. And 1 and 2, Dunmar closing right up within a car length and a half. Consul, still plenty of time in this event on lap 21 for Dunmar. Bob Consul sees the powder blue and white aluminum-bodied machine looming ever larger in his rear view mirror. They work into turns 1 and 2. Dunmar is now glued right up to the back bumper. Consul has the RPMs turned up down the back straight. Pulls the car length and a half ahead of Dunmar's automobile. Another battle continues for third. Bill Kraus on the back bumper, Arsenberger's machine, as they continue that struggle. Into 1 and 2, Dunmar right up to the back bumper. Consul cannot make the move. Bob Consul, exiting out of the turns, has the horsepower and the torque to the ground to be able to stretch it out. Dunmar seems to be able to gain as they enter into the turns. Watch it, turns 1 and 2. Dunmar will close the gap a car length and a half, and then Consul able to stretch it out on the straightaways. This time around, there'll be 10 laps remaining in this Winston 35-lap feature event for the Pepsi Pro Stocks. And Jeff Dunmar once again tries to muster up a serious threat on the Consul Racing Center's 50 of Spratt Consul. Bill Kraus all race long in a Holiday Inn A&H video, page 25, has been looking for racing room around the Arsenberger Trucking 26 of the Mill Run, Pennsylvania pilot Bob Arsenberger, but he cannot find an opening to his liking, and conversely sits back in the 4th place position. Meanwhile, in turn 3, Jeff Dunmar has the buggy whip out, begins to whip the horses under the hood of the 07, and has a serious bid and a challenge for the lead on Consul's automobile. Lap 27, Dunmar tries a low line. Look at this sneak job out of turn 2, race fans. Jeff Dunmar side by side with Spratt Consul in 3, and Dunmar breaks through for the lead. How about that one, race fans? Working the low side. Oh, he gets the car squarely. Oh, Bob Consul having problems. Maybe Consul having problems in the automobile begins to slow drastically in this event. Bob Consul not up to the pace he had before. Mechanical Wales might have been all the opportunity that Dunmar needed in that low side pass as he continues to stretch out the lead. Bob Consul well off the pace. Problems for the Ford City Chassis Oldsmobile bodied automobile. Jeff Dunmar is everything his way, but look at this battle for a second. 3-4. Oh, Denny Wingard almost by. Oh, my! Denny Wingard at 49 loses the automobile. Does a beautiful job of correcting it, but almost bumped the outside retaining wall. That leaves this battle for second up to 2 on Arsenberger. Campaigning both drivers at one time. We're in the Gotling's Lake Model division, but moved into the Pro Stocks and his Pepsi sponsor division, and are battling for the bridesmaid spot as time is running out. It's all Jeff Dunmar. 2 laps remaining. Bob Arsenberger, a distant second place position, has to contend with Kraus's automobile. a white flag on for Dunbar. And this battle for second is now beginning to separate itself. The Carlos Insurance, Arsenberger Trucking machine of Bob Arsenberger begins to stretch it out, and he has control of the bridesmaid spot, but the checker will unfold. It is Winston, 35-lap feature event for Pepsi Pro Stock winner Jeff Dunbar. A distant second will go to Arsenberger. Third goes to Krause. Fourth to Denny Wingard, and rounding out the top five is Gary Wiltrout. Stocks the Winston 35-lap feature. Once he gets out of the car, we'll give him a nice round of applause. The Coastal Racing Centers, Briarwood Enterprise, VJ's Express, Maple City Tire, Somerset Auto Parts, Napa, PPG, B&B Contractors, Lumina Body Machine. You can hear now. Nice round of applause for Jeff Dunbar. Heather Leggett from Eden Park Restaurants will present the trophy to the 27-year-old welder from Somerset, Jeff Dunbar. Dunbar setting an all-time full-bodied record in feature wins last season in Western Pennsylvania in the Stoney's Light Street Stock Division with 34 feature wins, and has some impressive runs already early in the 92 season, finding himself in victory lane as a rookie in the Pepsi Pro Stocks. This, the Winston 35-lap feature event. Lumina Z34 bodied Port City chassis machine is the old Vince Randisi car from last year. Conversely, used to belong to Glenn Galt. Next up on the program will be the Winston 20-lap feature event for the Stoney's Light Street Stocks. They'll be out momentarily as we continue victory lane. And Jeff, we have you come up, please. On that machine, biding your time looking for the opening. Were you aware that after you got past him that his car faded off pretty fast?
No, I tell you, after the hot laps, we took our mirror out. So I concentrated a little more on the front of me and so
It's interesting to say, a lot of drivers telling when they first learn racing, they're real concerned with people behind them. But apparently that's an outstanding run for the Bernie Motors team and the pilot, Jeff Dunbar. Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, thanks.
All right, another nice round of applause for Jeff Dunbar, your winner in this Winston 35-lap feature event for the Pepsi Pro Stocks. Stoney's Light Street Stocks, 25. Bomb inside second row, Barry Gary, and then the 55 of Alan Angelico. Dave Miller in the 32, 33, John Komarinsky, 66, Jason Mignon, 72, Mike Heminger, 41, Paul Bennings, 75, Brian Audi, 36, John Castor, 05. As it quickens its pace, it'll be up to Schneider and Bomb. Let's see what happens. Will we open the refrigerator and get a sandwich job? Oh, immediately! How about that? And it dissipates as Barry Gary jumps to the lead. And having problems, the Schneider's coming up the speed down the front straight. Going into turns 1 and 2. Gary holds on to the point position. In the 82 down the back straight. Here comes Mike Heminger. Oh, my goodness. Oh, look at this! Too many moves to mention in turn 3. You watch it, and I'll do the same. And the same thing on the front straight. My goodness, the Stoney's Light Street Stocks are going absolutely mad out there, race fans. Oh, my goodness. Position changes. We're still 2, 3, 4. Oh, Castor gets out of control. Hangs on to the automobile. Look at Satoshi from the back of the field. A man possessed. It turns 3 and 4. He tries a low side of Brian Audi. He breaks through for the position. Look at this on the front straight. Oh, I don't know where to look, race fans. Too much action going on with the Stoney's Light Street Stocks. Oh, the leader spins in turn 2. Oh, look out. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. And a horrendous T-bone crash. And we have a fire on the back straight. An immediate call for this bad crash. No doubt an oil line broken on Gary's automobile. He's getting out of the car, race fans. Barry Gary, and how about that? Danny Barron, both are okay. How about that? Great to see them walk away. Red flag out. You know, Gary spun with the lead, and the top 4 cars got by him unscathed. Then I thought, here comes his second group of cars, look out. And Danny Barron right there in the groove, nowhere to go, plowing into this. He is taken away in the ambulance. And we get ready for the restart. It's up to Tony Baum. Here we go. Field tightens up. And we get a green. We get a green. We're racing. Oh, hold on to your seats. Here comes Komarinsky. Down the front straight, into turns 1 and 2. John Komarinsky in the rock and dirt, drilling, rolling rock 33 to the low side of Tony Baum. Works that line, and he pulls off with the lead on the restart. Komarinsky up to the point position. Out of turn 4, here comes the wild man, Alan Angelico. And he's bringing right along with him the 72 of Mike Heminger. Jack Satoski all the way to the 5th place position in the 30. And look at the wild man down the back straightaway. Muscles himself to the low side of Komarinsky's automobile. John Komarinsky, the Greensburg, Pennsylvania pilot, fades back to 2nd. Angelico up to the point position. Pure stock driver in his rookie season. In his 90s light street stars. Meanwhile, Mike Heminger trying to do the same. They work in the turns 1 and 2. And Heminger muscles to the low side and pulls up with the bridesmaid spot. Oh, here comes Jason Mignon and Brian Audie. They begin to close up on Satoski. Mignon working the high side of this racing surface as they exit out of turn 4 on lap 4. Oh my goodness, repercussions through the field. Jack Satoski has problems. 2 automobiles get by him. But the battle continues up on the point position. It's Komarinsky. He fades up high. Heminger tries the low side. And the Holder Auto Repairs North Star Equipment Machine. Into the pits goes Jack Satoski. Problems for that automobile. After winning last weekend, and fluid comes out of that automobile. He has some serious problems. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead. Angelico denies the opportunity to Mike Heminger. On the front straight, it continues to be Mike Heminger glued to the back bumper. Angelico's automobile. They work out of turn 2 around Nick Durrat's the lapped automobile on the back straight. Komarinsky continues hanging on to 3rd. Continuing in this battle for the lead. Heminger still hunting a back bumper of the 55 of the Angelico on the back straight. Now he decides to strike on the low side. Here comes Mike Heminger. Alan Angelico closes the door on him. Here we go. Brian Audie now begins to make a move. He's up to the 4th place spot on lap 8. And the 1 and 2. Heminger tries to make that low side move. And John Komarinsky stays right with him. Here comes Heminger. He commits a low one. Angelico is able to slam the door on him. Alan Angelico up for the task in the outdoor specialties. Tasco 55. Closing the door on Mike Heminger. They're coming up on some lapped automobiles. This could prove interesting, race fans. 10 laps down. Oh, Brian Audie off the pace in the 75. As we work on lap 11, 3 cars hooked up in a battle for the lead. A distant 4th is Tony Baum with the 66 of Jason Mignon wrestling with him. Look at John Komarinsky come alive. They go around the high side of Dave Miller's 32. Komarinsky trying to make a move on Heminger. Heminger likewise trying to do, oh, Angelico gets crossed up in 3 and 4. One bubble and the lead goes over to Heminger on the front straight. And look at this, Angelico's having serious handling problems on that automobile. In the middle of the turns, the car gets squarely. And here comes Jason Mignon now. He goes to the low side of 22 of Baum. They work it out for the 4th place position. Mike Heminger continues stretching it out, goes to the high side of John Castor, a left automobile. And Heminger finds 2 wide traffic in front of him. Look at this, Mike Heminger having to go 3 wide on the back straight with the lead. Angelico sneaks to the low side of Castor's automobile. Oh, John Komarinsky held up with lap traffic. Here comes Tony Baum in a 22 and Jason Mignon in a 66 out of turn 4 down the front straightaway. Tony Baum looks to the outside. The Chrysler product out there trying to make a mid to 3rd. Nick Durrat's goes like a lawnmower into the grass down the bank straightaway. Tony Baum still trying to make the move around the 3rd place running 33 of Komarinsky. They work on a turn 4. It continues to be the 72 of Mike Heminger having things all his way on lap 15. A distant second is Alan Angelico Jr. Komarinsky. And the Rolling Rock 33 continues in third, haunted by Tony Bob's Eastern Fasteners 22 machine and Jason Mignon into 66. Oh, Angelico having problems getting around Schneider, the lapped automobile out of turn 4. Komarinsky begins to close in on him again. Lap 16, and it's still all Mike Heminger. Now Alan Angelico having problems. Continues to have handling problems. Plague his automobile. Here comes Mignon again. Up to the back bumper of the 22 of Tony Baum. Cannot make the move on his automobile as they struggle for fourth place position. Into 1 and 2, Angelico. Oh, dirt tracks the automobile almost out of shape. And the 33 Komarinsky has to back off. That opens the door to the high side for Tony Baum. We have a struggle for third place in turn 3. Baum in the Dodge, trying to high side the Monte Carlo of John Komarinsky down the front straight, and they close right up to the back bumper. Angelico, 4 automobiles in a struggle for the bridesmaid spot with 2 laps remaining. Throw a blanket over. Look at this struggle. Hey, you Motor fans, here comes Tony Baum. Baum to the outside, and the 33 Komarinsky trying to make it 3-wide, cannot do it. The white flag for your leader, Heminger. But look at this battle on a turn 4 for a second. Tony Baum trying to pull it off Angelico, working the high side of this racing service the hard way around, and Tony Baum brings the Chrysler product into second. Down the back straightaway. Here Jason Mignon. He struggles for third. The checker will come out for Heminger. But look at this battle in turn 3 for a second. Tony Baum has it. Mignon has moved up to third. He dirt tracks. Here comes Angelico and Mignon, but it's Baum. Tony Baum finishes second over Jason Mignon. Alan Angelico and 33 of
AKC 787 parked behind the grandstands. You have someone blocked in. We need to have you move it immediately, please. A blue Honda Civic, Pennsylvania license plate JKC 787. We need that vehicle moved immediately. Thank you. He can hear you now in Victory Lane. A nice round of applause for Mike Heminger, the winner of the Winston 20-lap feature event for the Stoney's Light Street Stocks. Heather Leggett of Eaton Park Restaurants presents the trophy to Michael in Victory Lane. And joining in the festivities is Miss MOTORDROME Speedway, Carrie Ritchie. Wow, is that hot? These racing slicks run up to about 190 degrees, the right rear, when they get out there. You could probably fry an egg on that Goodyear right now. All you kids around this front straightaway, do not throw stones on the track, please. We need you back. Very dangerous. One of these stones could cut a tire on a race car and send it right into the wall. Please don't throw stones on a racetrack. Thank you. Michael, congratulations into Victory Lane. An outstanding job out there. The only thing I got to say is, first of all, you guys really strap it on out there with 3, sometimes 4-wide racing. Does it look as crazy from behind the wheels as it does up in the stands?
Yeah, sometimes it gets real scary out there. You just got to think fast and try to pick the right line.
And anticipate moves, and that can be nothing more than a chess game out there with mechanical mayhem, so to speak. After this red flag situation, which incidentally, I want to correct, Barry Gary was a gentleman in the ambulance, not Dan Barron, complaining of neck problems for precautionary checkup there. But after that red flag situation, things started coming your way, and you had a lot of heat behind you. Brian Audie dropped out with problems, but once you get out there, do you try to set a pace comfortably, or do you just try to play at your foot and keep right on going and get as much distance as you can?
I usually try and just get out there as far as I can, keep it going, keep the hammer down.
Before we let you go, an opportunity to thank publicly the people behind your efforts to the race fans here this evening.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my father and his company, North Star Equipment, and all the Audis and Rick Jock. They really helped me out a lot. Murraysville Machinery, Rizzo Contracting, Black Specialty, Holder Auto Body, and I hope I didn't forget anyone.
All right, another nice round of applause for Mike Heminger, the winner of the Winston 20-lap event for Stoney's Light Street Stock.
65. James Freeline is 75. 76, Larry Lee Heminger. 32, George Nicola. 1 is Dave Burnell. 28, Sean Beam. 71, Mark Griffith. 87, Butch Douglas. 3, Harry Farr. 17, Conrad Presnell. 22, Robin Ramon. And 77 is Mitchie. Here we go now. Field tightens up. Out of turn 4. Chris Kokenar winning last Saturday at Jennerstown on the point for a career first feature win. Let's see what he does at the start. Wearing green and racing. And Jimmy Bickerstaff challenges to the outside. Kokenar down on low one. Chris Kokenar hanging on to it with the middle Rich Ohio pilot Jimmy Bickerstaff Jr. on the outside of him. They dive into turns 3 and 4. Kokenar takes over the point position, race fans. Bickerstaff hangs on to second. Look at this field out of 4. Kokenar fades up high, exiting out of turn 2. Bickerstaff closes up on his back bumper. Here comes Friedline and Tim Stump. Larry Lee Heminger. Dave Burnell. Oh, the bullet beam. We've got them all coming up through the middle of the field, pressuring these top automobiles. Into turns 1 and 2, Kokenar hangs on to that point position. Bickerstaff hanging on to second. Here comes Dave Burnell. Burnell up through the field, closes up on the 75 of Friedline. Bickerstaff still on the back bumper. Kokenar and Dave Burnell working the outside, bringing the 28 of Sean Beam right with them. They exit out of turn 2. Look at this flock of automobiles. Into 1 and 2, and oh my goodness, you couldn't put a sheet of notebook paper between some of those automobiles. No, down the back straightaway, Kokenar has problems, and Bickerstaff takes over the lead position. Here comes Burnell. Oh, Kokenar gets crossed up. He still hangs on to second. All kinds of hammer. Got him 4. Watch this. Watch this. Oh, wow. Can you believe it, race fans? We're still under green. Oh, hang on to it, Durkis. Hang on to it, my friend. He does. Man alive, can these guys really put it on out there? Jimmy Bickerstaff with the lead as everybody's heart's in their throat on that last lap in the top 10 position. Dave Burnell, a man on the move, begins to close up on Kokenar's automobile. Kokenar fades up high in the battle for second down the back straight. Bickerstaff dirt track in the car. Here comes his battle for second. Oh, look at Stump. He has a sandwich job trying to be put on him, and it's not accomplished as Larry Lee Heminger dives to the low side. Robin Ramon into the pits with a 22. Oh, bumping going on down the front straight. Stump donuts on his automobile with Sean the bullet beam. Now Beam between the opening of 2 automobiles. Goes on the low side on Stump, and the bullet takes over for it. Oh, Stump gets crossed up. We continue green flag racing. How about it, race fans? Down the back straightaway. Sean the bullet beam now up to the 4th place position. Man, are these guys hard to call. Into turns 1 and 2, it continues to be Bickerstaff on the point position. Chris Kokenar hanging tough a second. Oh, Burnell tries to get in, but it opens up to the low side for the Ford of Beam. Beam in a Baron trucking 28, gets under Kokenar's automobile. Chris Kokenar tries to come right back up on him, not able to do it. And Beam moves into the 2nd place position on lap 7. Now, Dave Burnell trying to take advantage to the low side of Kokenar, wrestles his way to the low side and moves into 3rd. Kokenar falls back to 4th. Jimmy Bickerstaff, a gentleman who races in the shadows of his famous father, out there with, oh no, look at it! Bickerstaff hangs on to it, race fans. Bickerstaff and Beam right there. An aggressive move by Sean the Bullet Beam. Jimmy Bickerstaff, not to be intimidated, hangs right in there. And Sean the Bullet Beam takes over the point position. Now the flying sign painter, Dave Burnell, coming into play. Oh, Kokenar has real serious problems. He may have a flat in her. Oh, look out of 4. Green comes out. We're up to speed and racing. Looking on lap 9, this restart, 15-lap circuit in the Winston presentation for our pure stocks in their main event to conclude this evening's activity. Bickerstaff hangs on to the point position. The 28 of Sean Beam down the back straight. To my knowledge, Jimmy Bickerstaff Jr. has never won a feature event, at least in Western Pennsylvania, on the pavement, and he's desperately trying to hang on to it this time. Down the front straightaway, Sean the Bullet Beam looks to the high side of Bickerstaff. They work in the turn. We have the yellow out again. The yellow is for Tim Stump that gets crossed up. two out. It's up to Bickerstaff. He gets on it. That brings out the green. We're up to speed and racing. Into turns 1 and 2, Jimmy Bickerstaff Jr. hanging on to the point position. Sean the Bullet Beam sets up for the outside. Oh, gets the car crashed up. Has to back off down the back straightaway. Here comes a flying sign painter, Dave Burnell. He closes in. But Jimmy Bickerstaff hangs on to the lead. Now Bullet goes to the low side. Bickerstaff right there. The cars get together. And they fight for the lead position down into turns 1 and 2. Oh, look out. Bickerstaff has sudden brake on the automobile. Oh, a hard impact into the outside retaining wall. Very hard shot for the Dickey Electric 24. Out of turn 4 on the restart. Green's out. We're up to speed and racing. Into turns 1 and 2. Beam hangs on to the point position. Dave Burnell picks up the task of trying to close in on him. Down the back straightaway. Dave Burnell. Oh, look at this crash in turn 2. Conrad Personnel getting together with Harry Flowers brings out another yellow. And caution flags plaguing it. And look at these guys. They're able to get the car. Lights out. We're ready to get back to racing. And we're up to speed. Beam on the point. Here comes Burnell. Down the back straightaway, heavy pressure on the back bumper. Jennerstown, Pennsylvania's James Friedline is 75. Here comes Larry Lee, Hemminger race fans from the back of the pack. The double O goes to the low side of Butch Durkis. They wrestle for a top position out of turn 4. Larry Lee Hemminger making his presence known to the Black Specialties, North Star Equipment 76 machine. And 4 out of, oh, look out, George Nicola real crossed up, and that opens up the door for Butch Durkis. He gets to the low side. Hemminger backing off, see it. The 32 of Nicola getting crossed up finds he's not able to take advantage of a low side move like Durkis. And Hemminger continues trailing the 32 machine. Meanwhile, Dave Burnell is close up to the back bumper. Sean Beam on lap 12. Dave Burnell in striking distance down the back straight. Dave Burnell looking to set up for racing. Room on Beam's automobile. This all Beam gets crossed up. Here comes Dave Burnell. He goes to the low side. 2 laps remaining, race fans. Burnell with an opportunity. Oh, they get together in 1 and 2. Burnell on the dirt. The flying sign painter keeps going. The Bullet on the high side denies Burnell the opportunity down the back straight. This time around, race fans, 1 lap remaining. Beam holds the car this time. Burnell with another opportunity in this last circuit. They go into turns 1 and 2. Sean the Bullet Beam hangs on to the middle groove. Dave Burnell trying to make some racing room on him. Down the back straight. Tires are glowing in the middle of the field. We're 3 wide in the middle of the back straight. Look at this. My goodness, a turn 3. Oh, and the trigger comes out for Beam. It's Burnell. Look out, a fall. Look out. Oh, trouble on the front straight. Oh my. Butch Durkis says, I'm just going right through. Nicola gets the worst one. Where do the other cars finish here? Let's see. Beam wins it. Burnell finishes second. Kokenar third. James Friedline fourth. And Larry Lee Hemminger all the way up to fifth. How about that?
Baron Trucking, 1974 Ford Torino into Victory Lane for Sean Beam out of Somerset. Sean, with many feature wins at Western Pennsylvania under his belt already this season, continues his dominance of action here at Motordrome. Here, about a nice round of applause for Sean, the Bullet Beam in Victory Lane. And the 15-lap Winston presentation of our main event for the Pure Stocks, being presented to Eaton Park Trophy from Heather Liggett. And we'll get a chance to talk to Sean Beam here shortly. JW Industries, K&E Auto Body, Midas, and Baron Trucking part of the efforts for Sean in the 92 season. Don't forget, race fans, as you leave, gates open at 3. Racing begins at 5:30 at Jennerstown tomorrow. Complete 4 division. Boy, a hard-fought victory. You know, you guys in this division, you go out there and a great training ground to really get the feel for a 3400 automobile on the pavement, I would say.
Yeah, this class is great for a beginner. I'd like to move up, but the money just ain't there right now.
Well, no doubt you're getting a lot of track time here. This last incident, I was just curious, when you came out of 4, was the car handling going away when you got real crossed up, or did you just lose it when Burnell tried that low side move? It just looked like, you know, you did a heck of a job controlling the car because it was shuffling back and forth on you. What happened?
I don't know. It seemed all right to me. I think he got underneath me and just got me a little bit there. I'm glad he left out of it and didn't get me around the ring.
Hey, before we let you go, how about an opportunity to thank the people behind your efforts to the fans?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Barron Trucking, JW Industrial, Timsco, Somerset, Sports R Us, and most of all, I'd like to thank my crew and my family.
All right, Sean the Bullet Beam, your winner of this Winston 15-lap circuit feature for the Pure Stocks. Once again, on behalf